There are a few great reasons to adding an amplifier to your existing system. Do you want louder sound without distortion? Or do you want a subwoofer with more bass? Or do you want to add additional speakers and improve sound quality overall? In today's Boss Basics episode, we'll help you with the best option for your ride. There are amplifiers that power speakers, subwoofers, and amps that can power both. When choosing the ideal setup for your system, here are some things to consider. The power of an amp is expressed in both RMS and peak power. In short, RMS power is the power that can be delivered before compromising sound quality. Peak power is the amount of max power an amp can deliver. Your amp should match your subwoofer specs in order to work properly. In terms of power, RMS ratings for both amp and sub should be a close match. And the impedance of a subwoofer will affect the load placed on your amplifier. For example, if an amplifier runs at 500 watts for a 4 ohm sub, then that same amp will put out 1000 watts when wired to a 2 ohm sub. The number of speakers and wiring options will also affect the total ohm load placed on an amplifier. 2-channel amps are typically made to power one pair of speakers. Multi-channel amps can power speakers, subwoofers, or a combination of both. A 4-channel amp can work in many different ways. You can use all 4 channels to drive 4 speakers, or use 2 channels for speakers and the other 2 channels in bridge mode to power a single subwoofer. Bridging, or bridge mode, combines the power of 2 channels into one for maximum output power. A 5-channel amp has a dedicated sub-channel built into the same chassis. There are also single-channel or mono amps specifically to power a subwoofer. It may be tempting to hook up as many speakers to a single channel on an amp. After all, more is better, right? Well, speakers can either be wired in parallel or in series. Let's say you have an amp rated at 4 ohms and a pair of speakers rated at 8 ohms each. Those 2 speakers wired in parallel would rate at 4 ohms load, but wired in series, the load would equal 16 ohms, which could lower the volume output of your amp. With 4 ohm speakers wired in parallel, the load would equal 2 ohms. Placing a higher load on your amplifier than what it's rated for has the potential to damage your equipment. A typical amp will have various controls and options, like bass boost, crossover settings, level and sensitivity, as well as power connection and speaker terminals. With all the options out there, it's important to do some further research when selecting a new amplifier for your system. I'm Colin for Boss Basics. If you like this video, make sure you hit like and subscribe to get the latest videos from Boss Audio Systems. We'll see you soon.